So I've been fighting off the winter chest cold for a few days, and I think that today it has officially conquered me. I called in sick to work today, and my, prescription is just to rest and take care of myself today, but instead of sinking in between sofa cushions, I am gonna try to film because obviously it's more fun to talk to my internet friends. So I was tagged by the one and only Alex from What Page Are You On? We waited for a video from you, Alex, for so long, and you graced us with a Christmas gift. So happy to be tagged by him. When Alex tags you, you do it. There's just no other option. If you don't watch his channel, you must. I swear you'll get smarter from watching him. So he just posted the book Postscript Tag, which is sort of like a 2021 reading tag. Not really a wrap-up of the whole year, but some questions that reflect on books that we read this year. So I'm gonna answer them. 10 questions. I'm gonna try to be quick. Hope I don't have a coughing fit all over you. Question number 1, the longest book you read this year and the book that took you the longest to finish. The longest book that I read this year was definitely Tana French in the Woods, and not only the biggest book this year, but the biggest book I've ever read in my life. This is a whopping 600 pages, which for me is super long. Maybe some people don't consider it that long if you read, I don't know, Anna Karenina or something. For me, this is big. So that was the biggest book that I read this year. And the book that took me the longest to finish. So here's the thing with that. If a book is taking me super long to finish, I'm probably gonna DNF it. Most of the time, I end up just tossing the book aside because it just draws on for so long. I can give you an example of that, which would have been Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga Tokarczuk. This was the winner of the Man Booker International Prize and winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature. I liked a lot of things about this book, but it just was taking me so long to get through it. Like I would read a chapter at a time, spread over way too long. And yeah, I ended up DNFing it over halfway through. So yeah. Number 2, a book you read this year that was outside of your comfort zone. I have to again go with Tana French. 1, the size of it is out of my comfort zone, but also it's a crime book, and that's not at all what I normally read. So that was out of my comfort zone, and I am glad that I read it. You know, my reading habits really took off in 2021, and I think if you're not really a reader, it's hard to kind of sense what is your comfort zone. I think only this year, throughout the whole year, having read so many different new things, I now realize and understand what are the perimeters of my comfort zone. But I know that that one was out of it. Number 3, how many books did you reread this year? 0. So number 4, favorite reread of the year is also non-applicable to me because I didn't do any rereading. The book that I always think about rereading is Walk Through Walls, the memoir by Marina Abramovich, the performance artist. I love that book. Number 5, a book you read for the first time this year that you look forward to rereading in the future. 1 is House of Incest by Anais Nin. I read this for the Tiny Book Challenge, and so you might have heard me speak about it. I'll link that video downstairs when I talk about this book. But it's just so dense with imagery, metaphor, symbolism, poetic language, which, I mean, I would just love to read again just for the experience of that language, but I would also specifically like to reread this book and to really dissect what is going on in there. I would like to take like passages and really look at them for a while and try to understand beneath the surface what she's really saying. The book that I immediately wanted to reread as soon as I finished it was Assembly by Natasha Brown that I just spoke about in the previous vlog on this channel. I loved this book. It was a 5-star for me. So I really look forward to rereading that. Sorry, I'm so nasally. I hope that you managed to get through this video without finding me incredibly irritating to your eardrums. Number 6, favorite single short story or novella that you read this year. This is an easy answer for me. Signs Preceding the End of the World by Yuri Herrera. A short novella that I think everyone should read. Just truly think that it's a novella at its finest. Actually, I'm not sure what classifies a novella. Maybe I should look that up. Google says novellas are short novels, which I knew. Anywhere from 17,500 to 40,000 words. Okay. Or about 100 to 200 pages. Okay. Number 7, Mass Appeal. A book you liked and would recommend to a wide variety of audiences. I'm going to again say Signs Preceding the End of the World. Like I just said, I think everyone should read this book. I think because it's short, it will appeal to many people, especially people who maybe don't read that much because they think that they don't have a lot of time for it. So this is something that you can really breeze through quickly. It's so good. You love the character so much. It's interesting, it's thought-provoking, it's beautifully written. I just don't see anything in this book that a person wouldn't love. I wrote down also for this one, Blueberries by Elena Savage, an essay collection which was made sort of Booktube trendy or famous by dear Rebecca. Rebecca Eats Books. I wrote this because I think that it's really a fascinating read and it's a really important read. However, I think that it is very thinky and it's big brain energy. So I wouldn't say that that's something that everyone would find appealing. It's just not the kind of thing that everyone likes to read. But I think that everyone should read this book. Number 8, Specialized Appeal. A book you liked but would be hesitant to recommend to just anyone. For this one, I chose Days of Abandonment by Elena Ferrante. I loved this book. It's following a main character in a very claustrophobic situation, which is, it's taking place inside her apartment in Italy after her husband abandons her. I say claustrophobic because that's really the feeling that it gives me. It's super visceral, very classic Ferrante, very frantic energy. This book will fuck with your head and also frustrate you. So I think that that's why I wouldn't recommend it for everyone because like I really, really loved it, but it's frustrating and it's fucking wild. Almost like sense of vertigo when you read this. It can be quite also explicit, which I think some people wouldn't like. I like. Other answer for this that I chose was, oh, I'll get it. Freshwater by Kweke Emezi, one of my favorite reads of this year. This is following a main character named Ada. It's told from different perspectives of different selves that exist inside of this character. There's an assault that leads to this kind of shattering of our main character. And these sort of, I would almost say kind of spirits, then become like different selves of Ada. So it's really hard to describe this book. I think it is incredible. However, I think it's super challenging in terms of form and the way that it's being told and the way that we're jumping from different perspectives, and it's also very poetic and quite metaphysical in its exploration of identity. I think that it's challenging. I want everyone to read this book. It's not just like an easy book that anyone can pick up and just like read through, you know, a great storyline. It's also quite disturbing and, yeah, quite a sad one. Number 9 is reflect on your year as a bookish content creator, goals met, good or bad memories, favorite videos made, etc. I just have to say that this is my first year on Booktube. I think I joined in late January or early February of 2021, so the end of this year kind of really marks the end of my first year on Booktube. I couldn't be happier to make videos about books, and I would say that the biggest highlight was the friends, like really best friends that I made on here that are now such gems in my life. And that is so cool. That is so cool. Really happy to be reading more, to be excited about books, growing as a person through reading. And my goal was to read 15 books, and I read, at this point, 36. So that's like a pretty great goal. Yeah, I'm loving Booktube. So I'm really happy to be here, and it was an amazing year, first year. Such a supportive community, which I think is really special and not always the case on YouTube. I think that everyone has been tagged because Alex tagged everybody and their mom, but the only one that I saw was missing was Anna Wallace Johnson. So I tag you, babe. I want to see you do this. That's it. I'm gonna go back to drinking tea.